Yo guys, what's up? It's Blackheart here and welcome to a new video. Of course, as you probably know already, I got all the characters to GOD1. That's a huge achievement, I know. And I don't know if it will ever be repeated by someone. Of course, I challenge you to do this because it was such a lot of work. Imagine that I started this run since August. The end of August, and now finally we're almost at December. I finally ended it, and so it has been a lot of amount of work, and of course I wanted to showcase all of my emotions and all of my great I'm so gratefulness to all of you for all of what you did for me during these months, and what you did for me to support me in my runs. So of course, as you probably know already, today I made a live stream in which I basically showcased basically all the tier list related to character difficulty and how hard it was for each character to reach GOD1, because honestly some of this kind of changed from the GOD ranks. Of course, again, I'm not gonna focus much on the tiers that are almost the same as GOD, because honestly, for some tiers it's almost the same. I'm not gonna lie. Like, do you remember when I did the tier list to GOD? Basically, for example, these tiers are kind of the same. The only thing that is different, for example, in these first tiers, apart from the first ranks, again, they are almost the same. It's the fact that now the easiest card to get GOD1 was actually Lydia and not Anna. And why is that? Because I think people at GOD ranks, since you are completely overwhelmed by Anna every 2 seconds, started really exploring and learning the matchup more. In the case of Anna, in my opinion. So right now, playing with Anna and doing well with Anna is still easy, but a little bit less easy than Lydia, because Lydia right now is super strong. In some aspects, she's even weaker than Anna, but she's even more, in my opinion, 50-50 and mesh based than Anna. And at GOD ranks, I really went through all of them, like completely one-sided almost gameplay. So in 4 hours, I got Lydia to GOD1. In 4 hours, not 1, not 2, not 7, not 8, 4 hours only. So of course, it's not like I needed to do much to get Lydia to GOD1. Much more interesting instead, for example, are the upper tiers, because here we have some changes from the GOD ranks. Again, most of the experience is the same, but as you can see, like most of the easiest cards are the same. So I'm not gonna go into detail because most of the things that I showcased here are the same as I did in the last GOD tier list, but there are some exceptions. Probably the most evident one is Lars. I placed Lars in 4.5 tier, so a tier of its own, basically between easy and starting to get hard, because honestly, maybe for the first time ever, I actually had trouble with a character like this. Like, I know that Lars is built like to be one of the most broken characters ever, and I agree with you. Like, I know that Lars is super strong and super broken, but not gonna lie, guys, for the first time ever, probably, I struggled actually with a character this broken. He was the only character I was on the verge of demoting. The only character I got like 1k away from demoting to TGS. Do you understand that how this never happened with any card, not even with Casio, not even with the other cards? Lars was the only card that I almost got close to demoting. And why is that? Because I think the main problem is that I was still with the conviction that Lars, played in a certain way, would work also at GOD. levels. But I understood, with time passing, that you cannot play Lars the same you play until GOD. Because at GOD ranks and going on, people start sidestepping more, they start interrupting more, they start punishing more. So I noticed that a lot of things that with the matchup that I got away with before that, with Lars for some reason didn't work anymore. And maybe because the matchup was studied because of the buffs from season 2 or stuff like this. But trust me, guys, it's something that we really need to talk about, because Lars, also because we have to remember that I did the GOD ranked with Lars when he was buffed like crazy in season 2. Then I replayed Lars now when he was nerfed from the season 2 bullshit a little bit. And so I was still with the mindset of spamming everything possible with Lars. Every single broken thing, yes, with no counterplay and no thinking. But it was not like this anymore, and I actually struggled a little bit more. So yeah, that's why Lars is 4.5. Also, a little change is in Heihachi, that I put slightly lower than the GOD tier list. And why is that? Guys, honestly, because I think that that once you get used to Heihachi, in this second run, before like in the first run to get him to GOD, I was still trying to, let's say, to get used to how he plays, you know, to get used on how he plays, the stuff he does, and so on. In the second run, when I was a little bit more experienced now about Heihachi and what he does, I understood how broken this character actually is right now. By far the easiest and most effective Mishima, the most Tekken 8 Mishima. I don't know, I don't even have, like, the amounts of bullshit he has, you know, like, honestly, I lost count. The broken wall combo, the broken damage everywhere, like, he has so much broken shit. Damage is broken everywhere. Wall combo completely broken. His combos are crazy. His counter hits are 10 million damage. His lows are kind of not, like, his lows are bad, of course, but when he gets to Warrior Instinct, it becomes completely overpowered and zero counterplay, this card, in terms of lows, because he has a safe health sweep to play. Like, honestly, once I realized all the tools that this character has, it was over for my opponents basically this time. So yeah, it was it was much easier than the first run, in which I put him, I think, even 8. Now at 6, together with Yoshimitsu and Lee, that, you know, Yoshimitsu and Lee have been kind of dumbed down from Tekken 7. Now they are much easier to play, and both are kind of Yoshimitsu for the lack of matchup knowledge sometimes, and Lee because he's fundamentally super strong right now. They were kind of easier than other cards to get to GOD 1. So on this, my thing doesn't change. The upper characters, as you can see, as always, we always have the same. In my opinion, we have you know, Kazuya, Brian, Nina, you know, the specialist characters that have been dumbed down, in my opinion, in this new game. In my opinion, even Kazuya, the so poor Kazuya. In my opinion, Kazuya right now is still super strong, and honestly, his easiness is born not because of begins, not because of his execution, because he has a lot of execution, but in terms of game plan. Like, Kazuya's game plan, in my opinion, is way easier than the characters I put above him. For example, the main man today reacted to this and said, "Are you spaghetti overdosing?" But I don't think so, because Warang, for example, is a character that I feel even stronger than Kazuya, much stronger than Kazuya. Don't get me wrong, much stronger than Kazuya. But you know what Warang has that Kazuya has doesn't have? The easiness of game plan, in my opinion. Like, you have to understand so much stuff to do well with Warang compared to Kazuya, that I felt it was harder to be more effective with Warang at first glance, because Warang has so many moves, he has so many transitions, he has so many stands, so much stuff to work around, that basically it was kind of hard for me to do immediately. Kazuya, more or less, is always the same. Oki, Hell Sweep, Oki, I don't know, electric keep out, I don't know, down for 2, trying to fish for a down for 2 counter it. Like, the stuff you do with Kazuya, more the same. It's more the same all the time, more or less the same. With Warang, you gotta think about much more stuff, in my opinion. Even though, again, Warang is much stronger than Kazuya, of course. This is absolutely necessary to say. But I think it's harder to be effective with. Also, probably the most different tier from my GOD one, from my GOD run, for my GOD runs is Paul. Paul, as you can see here, Paul is for me the hardest card to get GOD1, and I can second that. I second that, like even more than Devil Jin right now. For me, it was like this. Because Devil Jin, again as always, more or less does this stuff, and that's the stuff he does, okay? Of course, it was hard for me to try and implement that at the first glance, so that's why he's a 9. Same with Dragunov, the exact same as season as GOD runs. So, if you want to watch my opinions on this card, go watch the previous tier list. This is just to make you understand the updated tiers about these characters. And why did I put Paul as the hardest card in the game right now? Because I felt hard to implement his game plan, because we are in ranks in which everybody knows Paul matchup, because he's one of the most iconic Tekken cards, and everyone that knows what he does a little bit. No, everyone knows his strings. Everyone knows his stance, transitions. For example, the deep dive transitions and so on. I think like most people know what he does. Okay. Also, his neutral is super strong, but I felt it not very intuitive to apply at first glance. Because most people would say, yeah, you just Demo Man or Death Fist. But it's not so easy, guys, because you are in ranks in which this stuff gets punished, especially on block. It gets punished heavily. Like, it's not like until TGS that you can also throw out a Death Fist like crazy and no one punishes you. In these ranks, they start punishing this stuff. And Paul, I feel like when he wants to apply this kind of the gameplay he does, kind of risks, okay? Of course, he has the neutral tools. He has forward 2 that's completely broken, and forward 4 that's completely broken. Don't get me wrong, but his game plan is not easy. I think, like, his execution is absolutely. I'm not talking about execution. His execution doesn't exist, but his game plan, also especially since he's poking, kind of sucks. In my opinion, Paul's poking is not like the best poking in the game. Like, he excels more, let's say, in heavy mix-ups, in my opinion. In heat, in which he's very good. In maybe range control with forward 4, with homings, and with forward 2, and so on. But, you know, since I'm a very fundamental player, I try to be a very fundamental player that plays around a lot of poking, a lot of controlling opponents, and so on. I had a lot of trouble with Paul, not gonna lie. So, in fact, I have the lowest win rate with him. Him and Dragunov. Speaking of Dragunov, guys, you know already, very strong character. But, you know, in a game full of bullshit, guys, Dragunov seems honest right now, to be fair, in my opinion. Like, he's super strong fundamentally, the opposite. Like, for example, I think Paul is more Tekken 8 bullshit and less fundamentals. And so I had trouble. Dragunov is only fundamentals right now, and almost zero Tekken 8 bullshit, almost. And you understand why I feel like it was kind of hard with Dragunov still, even to GOD1, because right now they removed all of his Tekken 8 bullshit justifiably, but it's the only character with no Tekken 8 bullshit anymore, and the rest of the characters have a lot of bullshit still. So yeah, that's why I put him in 9. More or less, the other tiers are the same, guys. Not gonna lie, it's not like it changed much. But of course, you gotta understand that all of this is amplified. Like, compared to my GOD runs, the GOD1 runs were much harder for every card, even for the easiest character of them all. Because you gotta understand that for the first time you play against people that actually know the matchups and actually know what you're doing. So you have to play much more strict with your timings, with your punishment, with your whiff punishment, with your movement. So it was overall a much more stressful experience. But you know what? I wanted to make this quick video also to thank you all for all of your undying support, guys. Really, you are supporting me since day one in this new adventure for me. Also, I'm enjoying so much streaming Tekken with you all. You are supporting me in my activities. I put this tier list everywhere on TikTok, Reddit, and so on, and I had so many good comments, and I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that you appreciated all of my work. So I wanted to make also this quick video to really greet you all and thank you all for your support. And I'm gonna also tell you the next content is gonna come. Of course, now that I've done all the cards with GD1, I want to take a little break from ranked. So in these days, before we wait for Miarizo, I won't play much ranked. We're gonna mostly play viewer matches. I'm gonna try to do even some coaching live. I'm gonna maybe only try for June, a little bit June ranked maybe. And once Miarizo releases, of course, I'm gonna focus with her for 1 week or 2 weeks. And then, guys, of course, I'm gonna try to come back to ranked. Maybe I'm gonna try to bring my mains to GOD2. And of course, when I will eventually run out of ranked, run out of ideas, run out of content with my mains and so on, I'm gonna try maybe to bring all the cards to GOD2. Maybe. We'll see. Because this experience is fun. It's fun for you to watch. It's fun for me to play. And why not? Maybe we can try together. To apply this. So, guys, what can I tell you? I hope you enjoyed this quick video. I hope you enjoyed all of my runs, and I hope we can see each other very, very soon again. Take care, guys. Remember to watch my streams if you want on Twitch or YouTube or TikTok or whatever. And see you guys very soon again. Bye. Fuck Lydia.